From the Lakeside Newsroom of the Henrico Citizen, your hometown news source since 2001. This is the Henrico News Minute with publisher Tom Lapis.
Almost $40 million in new money for transportation projects coming to Henrico County, and a favorite 4th of July event is coming back this year. We'll have details in today's Henrico News Minute. We made it to the end of the week. It's Friday, June 11th, 2021. It's brought to you today by Henrico County and the Community Workforce Partnership.
And now for the news.
Henrico County expects to receive almost $40 million in revenue from the Central Virginia Transportation Authority for county transportation projects. That money will come within the next year and a half. Sharon Smidler, the Transportation Development Division Director for Henrico's Department of Public Works, provided that update to the county's Board of Supervisors on Tuesday night. The CVTA was created in 2020 by the General Assembly to administer transportation funding for projects generated through an additional 0.7% sales tax. Henrico expects a little more than $17 million by the end of the current fiscal year and $22.5 million in the coming fiscal year, according to Smidler. The county has 90 active transportation projects totaling about $340 million in cost currently underway. About 2/3 of them will use some money from the CVTA. In Henrico's 10-year capital improvement program, officials have identified expected transportation needs that total about $2 billion. The county intends to use some CVTA money for bike accommodations on Church Road this summer, as well as for an access road at Glover Park in Glen Allen. You can read more about the county's transportation plans on henricocitizen.com by clicking on News and then Government. The 25-year-old Richmond man facing second-degree murder charges in connection with the June 6th murder of a woman in eastern Henrico was found dead inside a Hampton hotel room on Wednesday morning. Police say he had barricaded himself inside. It happened just before 9:30 a.m. at the Red Roof Inn in Hampton. Christopher Leon White Jr. was the suspect in the death of Chardonnay Gunn. That happened near the shops at White Oak Village. And police also identified another man, 23-year-old Bronte Elise Adams of Richmond, and he also was charged for accessory after the fact homicide, arrested in Hampton and taken to a local jail. At the Tuesday night meeting of the Henrico Board of Supervisors, Henrico leaders officially ended the county's COVID-19 local emergency that they had declared all the way back on March 13th of last year. Supervisors said they were thrilled to accept the resolution. They also issued 3 proclamations of appreciation for community members and organizations that supported the locality during the pandemic. Those included Richmond Raceway, which offered its Old Dominion building and raceway itself as COVID-19 vaccination locations. More than 165,000 vaccines were administered at the raceway. Westwood Pharmacy worked with Henrico and Richmond's health districts to coordinate the receipt, storage, and distribution of vaccines. And Reverend Dr. Emmanuel Harris assisted the health districts in reaching people of color during the pandemic, as well as communicating critical infrastructure information to at-risk and underserved communities and helping with vaccination efforts. County Manager John Vitulkas described the meeting as, quote, a night of thanks, end quote, and said that the presentations were highly unusual because the board doesn't typically issue such proclamations. If you're looking for 4th of July plans, Lewis Ginter's CarMax Free 4th of July event will return to the Garden this year. It'll take place Sunday, July 4th. All guests will be admitted free between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. The event typically draws quite a crowd. Guests can simply walk right in. There's no advanced registration or reservations required. If you're fully vaccinated, you don't have to wear a mask, but if you're not, you are required to wear a mask indoors at all times and outdoors when 6-foot social distancing isn't possible. A reminder, the Garden is not hosting its Butterflies Live exhibit this year, and water play in the Children's Garden remains closed. Activities on the 4th of July will not include live music or parade this year. For details, you can visit lewisginter.org. One Henrico restaurant was found to be using plastic grocery bags and old peanut butter containers to store raw meat during a recent inspection. We've got details about that restaurant and others. They're in our weekly restaurant watch. You can find it right now at henricocitizen.com by clicking on dining. Today's Henrico News Minute has been brought to you by Henrico County and the Capital Region Workforce Partnership, which are planning 2 employment and resource fairs this month. The first occurs Saturday, June 12th at the Virginia CareerWorks Henrico Center at 121 Cedar Fork Road in Henrico County. To learn more, visit vcwcapital.com. That's capital with an A.